Greetings from all of us here at Grace Evangelistic Ministries. We want to bring you a word of encouragement in a time such as this. As a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ, what do you do when you are in a predicament? What do you do when you are facing uncertainty? What do you do as a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ? Do you know who is on your side? I want to tell you a story I don't normally like to tell people, but knowing that it will encourage your heart, I want to share this story with you. Many years ago, in our ministry, you know the policy in our ministry, we don't solicit for funding. We trust that God will supply the needs of this ministry. If this ministry is of the Lord, and he has been for 27 years. That was one of our great supporters at that time. And this generous man, in fact, he gives, I would probably say, maybe about 70 or 80% of the support that comes to this ministry. And he comes to me and he said, I want you to do this. Let's go this direction. And I told him, the Lord is not leading me to that direction. He insisted we go to that direction. I said, the Lord is not leading me to the direction. And with love, with kindness, I didn't, he told me, well, if you don't, I will pull my support. And I see what will happen. I smiled. And the reason why I smiled, because I know that this ministry doesn't belong to me. It is the Lord's ministry. I thought he was joking. He pulled his support. And I looked up toward heaven because I know that's where the support comes from. It didn't take long. I didn't tell anybody about it. God sent somebody else right away who even gave more than he was giving to the ministry. The reason why I just gave you that testimony, in fact, many years later, and the same person, when we were talking together, he looked back and saw what God has done. He said, it's quite amazing to see how far God has brought this ministry to. I just smiled again. Maybe he forgot what he told me and what he did. But that's not the point. The point is, what do you do when you are in a predicament? I have men that I want to share with you in the Old Testament, what they did when they faced predicament. One of these three group of men will be Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. You know the story. I don't have to repeat the story to you. They were in a predicament, and the predicament is for them to worship the God that Nebuchadnezzar made. They knew it was wrong. Even though they were in a foreign land, they refused to worship that God. What happened is a display of the majesty of God. I want to pick that up in Daniel chapter 3. And when they refused, the report was brought to Nebuchadnezzar in verse 14. Nebuchadnezzar responded and said to them, is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve my God or worship the golden image that I set up? Now, if you are ready, as the moment you hear the sound of the horn, the flute, lyre, trigon, psaltery, and bagpipe, and all kinds of music, to fall down and worship the image that I have made very well. But if you do not worship, you will immediately be cast into the midst of the furnace fire. The amazing thing was they replied immediately. In verse 16, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied to the king, oh, Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to give you an answer concerning this matter. If it be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the furnace of the blazing fire, and he will deliver us. That's the confidence they have. He will deliver us. But this is the part that I like even most in the next verse, in verse 18. But even if he does not, let it be known to you, O king, that we are not going to serve your God or worship the golden image that you have made. We will not, regardless of the consequences, even if God doesn't deliver us. We know he will, but if he doesn't, we know the God whom we believe. What do you do? And of course, we know the story. They were cast into the into the fire, and God rescued him. What do you do when you are in a situation that you cannot handle? A situation that is bigger than you. Do you know who is behind you? The omnipotent sovereign God is with you as a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ. He will not let you down. He is there. He said, I'm low and with you always. As a believer, you should anchor your faith in him, for he cannot fail you, no matter your circumstance. Keep trusting him. Keep believing in his word. Keep praying. Until next time, may God richly bless you, my beloved.